Hi, welcome to Ride the Pendo, first episode. Here we are at a venti West Coast Lounge, Glasgow Central, and we're going to have a good time today. Let's see how we go. So, as you can see, this is one long train. We're going to Crewe on Avanti West Coast Pendolino, 8 o'clock in the morning at Glasgow Central, and we're going to Crewe. So as you know, Pendolinos tilt, and Pendos are cool. So let's take a trip back in time and basically see the grandfather of tilting trains in Britain. It'll be great. Jeez, oh. Let's head inside Coach K, which is first class, and we'll see what's what in the old Avanti service. Let's do this, as they say. Here we go.
Something that doesn't look nice, you can become a member of staff, or you can take the British Transport Fleet on 61016.
Sitting in first class in a Pendolino really is comfort. Good solid chairs with plenty of cushioning, plenty of leg room under the tables. And we're off. Just look at that lovely Glasgow weather. Fantastic. As it's the lighter menu at the weekend, I opted for a blueberry brioche tea and one of those Pepsi Max things. Avanti staff in the train were really good, very attentive, very polite, excellent. So, second cup of tea later, lovely. Class 390 Pendolino entered passenger service in the West Coast Main Line in 2002. Following the initial introduction, the full fleet and expanded timetable services were phased in over subsequent years as the infrastructure upgrades on the West Coast Main Line progressed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on the approach to Carlisle. If you are leaving us here, please ensure that you take all of your luggage and personal belongings with you. I'd also like to thank you for travelling with Avanti West.
Okay, let's cut to the chase. Here's the part you really wanted to see. The toilet tour in the first class. And now some vestibule views. So it's been a couple of years or so since the Avanti refurb of the trains. As you'll see, the trains are actually very clean, very good condition. Another thing I noticed in hindsight was every time I pulled out a camera to film some scenery, I managed to get caught with an embankment. What a view, look at that. So after 3 hours, more or less exactly, we hit Crewe and all was great. So just after filming this segment, there was a gentleman sitting on the bench on the platform. I ended up chatting to him for half an hour. A really nice guy, I think his name was Dave. He was up watching train, so that's cool, I suppose. We finally got to the Crewe Heritage Centre at 12 PM, basically because I got kinda lost on the way there. I got there in the end. Well, here we are, we made it all the way to Crewe and we're sitting in the driver's cab of the legendary APT. This is amazing, like a future antique, or an antique from the future. Of course, what you're seeing here is basically back in 1979, 1980, futuristic. So this is the last set of the APT still remaining. The rest were all destroyed and torn up. And the fact that Crewe Heritage Centre still have this and worked on it, it's fantastic. A piece of the future from the past, definitely. Here we are, standard class in the APT. As you can see, it's very stylish for its time. Through into the next car. Let's get a drink at the buffet. Fancy a Sprite, but not Pepsi, thanks. Nice little snifter on the train. Just chill, kick back while we're travelling. And of course, the kitchen. Which I've been informed, the hobs on the cooker still work, but everything else is off. However, if the water was plumbed back in, that would be working as well, although the boiler's kaput. And you can see it. That was the menu that was served the day that this train broke the speed record from Euston London to Glasgow. Fantastic. While we're here, we can have a crunchy and a caramel. And what APT journey wouldn't be complete without the dreaded British rail sandwiches? And Walker's crisps of the time. And classic Fanta. It's very narrow in this passageway. I will make it through. I think we are in first class.
Mum, what's this train since last abandoned?
This would have been the guards area. In fact, this is the guards compartment. We would have a chair, and I've been informed that this area here, he would have like a hob, a cooker. And we have the height of late 70s, early 80s communications. As you'll notice, the setup of the APT as a full rake of carriages is actually like two trains. It's got the power car in the middle. The power car was capable of putting out 8,000 horsepower over 8 electric motors. Check this. I really don't think I'd be allowed that in the house, but you know. And on the other side of the power car, back into standard class. I have it in good authority that apparently amongst the passengers on this carriage, Steve Austin is actually here. See if you can spot him. As you can see in standard class, the seat design is different from first. It's like a completely different structure. So we're having a journey in the APT with the seats like. Well, considering the age, they're actually quite comfy. Very springy. I really don't think you'd be doing a 3 hours 50-minute journey now, but it's alright. Mind you, without air conditioning on, it's very warm. It's ironic the APT was designed to travel on those very lines, and yet here it sits as a museum piece. Unlike a standard train where the carriage has its own set of wheels, the bogie sits between the carriages on the APT, sharing the load. It's what made the APT so light and agile, but the real genius was how it handled curves. While other trains relied on passive force, the APT was active. Sensors would detect the lateral tug of a corner, and these hydraulic actuators would physically force the carriage to lean into the bend. It was essentially a high-speed motorcycle banking into corners to keep you comfortable while travelling nearly 40% faster than the trains that came before it. And when it was time to stop, that was handled by the hydrokinetic brake. Think of it like a water turbine in reverse. It used a fluid vortex to absorb all that kinetic energy, turning it into heat that didn't rely on the wear and tear of traditional friction pads. It was brilliant, it was bold, and for a moment it made the UK a global leader in high-speed rail engineering. But here is where the story turns tragic. The APT wasn't killed by bad physics, it was killed by bad politics. Rushed into service before the technology was fully matured, the initial teething problems, like hydraulic leaks, became national headlines. The media turned on the train, branding it Queasy Rider. The media backlash severely eroded public confidence, ignoring the fact that those early prototypes were revolutionary. I've heard that inside the industry it was even worse. The project was viewed with deep scepticism by traditional rail departments, creating an us versus them culture that starved the project of support it needed. Despite the engineering breakthroughs, the government of the time had little appetite to fund the long-term development, so the APT never became a world-class fleet. It's frustrating to think that if we had just persisted, if the British government had backed our own engineers, we might have had this technology fully matured and integrated across the UK network long before the new millennium. Riding a Pendo today feels smooth and effortless, but in a way it's a bittersweet reminder of a future we could have had with the APT, although I need my Pendos, let's be honest. Crewe Heritage Centre's pretty cool. Lots of things to see, different types of trains. Behind me you can see their second APT power car. Yeah, it's great. I kind of feel like Beamish, but train Beamish, if you know what I mean. Right. Old Virgin colours. Nice. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. Sat inside the APT, had a shot in the driver's seat. Seen a 125, two 125s, sorry, HSTs. You've seen a signal box. Plenty of stuff to see here. Probably need another day if you wanted to go into everything in depth, certainly. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Pretty good. Now on our way back to Glasgow Central, we're in a Vantage Standard Premium class. It's very much like a first class carriage, except without the at-table service. Good solid Pendo action as always. So here's some tilt shots for you. Keep your eye on the edge of the window. Yep, there we go. So the Pendolino is capable of tilting up to 8 degrees left or right. By contrast, the APT could tilt to a maximum of 9 degrees. If you've made it this far in the video, then I hope you've enjoyed our day out together to Crewe Heritage Centre. It was absolutely great seeing the APT in person for the first time, and this may be my first vlog, certainly won't be the last, so stick around, keep your eye on the channel. Kind of difficult doing videos all the time if you work full time, but I'll do my best to get them out as quick as I can. Cheers.